Hey, it's JD79. We're going to be talking about what's been really going on the last couple of weeks here. I know a lot of people have been rambling about Microsoft or Sony out there, but certainly many people coming on Twitter through an account called NoDRMforPS4 or Xbox One or whatever it is, and this is a really legitimate claim because we're coming up to the point where consumers, they have been really pissy about the DRM lately here, and we have experienced, and first of all, yeah, we experienced this so-called on the PS3 here when consumers were lashing out against Sony, and as a result, it does have some features in there, but to let the consumer fans here. But now on the PS4 and the Xbox 7, especially the Xbox 720, when Microsoft first unveiled that they really botched unveiling it here, and it's really a gray, or like with this here. And the last thing that says there will be DRM for the that will block against used games about this. But I'm going to tell you something here. Let's provide an analogy. All right, I go to Kimball Farms. All right. I run Kimball Farms. I bought bumper boats from JJ Amusements for use for customers for giving rides here. And then little I know that when I started using it, customer 1, customer 2, customer 3. Okay, customer 1 goes in, pays, uses the bumper boats here. Then okay, it says customer 2 and customer 3. Oh, what happens when customer 4 comes in? The engine kills itself. The engine kills itself, and this happened to all the other bumper boats and things. So I called JJ and said, "What is going on?" I wonder why after a couple rides they started breaking down like this. JJ Amusements then responded and it says, "Oh, we have a license here that's you can only have a couple of rides here. Has a couple of the rides, and then you have to pay me some of the money here." And or maybe another one says you have to hook your bumper boat online to make sure that I hug you and making sure that here. Look, if anyone buys a bumper boat from this one, like if Kimball Farms buys a bumper boat, I have every goddamn right to resell it. I have every right to use it as I want. I bought the bumper boat, and I mean I can use it as I wish. I can use it to drive around the lake to challenge it in the place over here. I can buy anything. I can buy the bumper boats like this here, and look, I have a right to resell what I bought here. And this goes to let's go to the games here. I have to say that I have to say that this software is a software isn't the same as the software is the same as music. All right. I've downloaded a game. I can copy to any devices that I own, and so long as they don't give the theaters. Now, what really does make sense here is for when you buy it, you have a license that you can use it, but you don't have a license to make billions of copies and give them away. That's where that's where I agree that be able to do it here. I mean, you should have, and like I can agree to have some of the royalty fees of the artist, but if I buy same thing as if I buy a game on my PC, if it's a software, I can make thousands of copies for my own use. I can modify it. You should be able to modify a game you wish to play. You can mess around with it. Same thing as music. I can just remix it and like this and create new works for this here. But why do we have to pay? But about the used game things here, a used game is the same thing as a used movie or a used music here. Although I think that movie publishers are right now starting to get into the anti-use bandwagon, maybe there are some other talks like me that Walt Disney is right now thinking about putting online DRM to discs to making sure that they don't be, to making sure they shut down Netflix and they shut down. They shut down Redbox and Blockbuster. Supposedly they're starting to have a little complaining here, and while the recording industry wants DRM back in the music, which I hate because I did simply buy music from Amazon.com. Yeah, it doesn't have DRM, and it's 99 cents per song, which I believe it's a bit on the high side, but it's better prices here. So why? So get video game, and see the video games were doing so well in the 1990s and 2000s. Used games were a common thing at that time. People were buying them and reselling them over here. Now here's the thing: if I release a game for $40, it's gonna sell very well on this new game that's coming out here. Hey, this awesome game that come out. It's only $30. It's a massive game. It's $30. Of course, it can have a lot of sales with it. That's this one here. I don't know why. I don't know where it makes sense for a publisher to pay $60 for a game. $60 for a game, and then it's not selling so well. So you're going to, we're going to blame it on used games, so we're going to put DRM to prevent people from borrowing games. We're hurting them. What a bunch of crybabies. I mean, what a bunch of crybabies these publishers are. Folks, I think, folks, when you buy a disc, I should be able to resell it in full function form to another customer here. And that's what I have to say. And now coming into the topic of John has talked about one user per account, or one system per account here. Now I'm a little gray on that one. I do support the fact here, but I do believe that if there is one account that can access the games or truly access here, any guest accounts, or if I'm signing up, I should not charge a thing. That owner should not charge a thing for every additional person that's being played in the things here. I downloaded the game towards my Xbox One. I downloaded the game for Xbox Ones, and like a friend's coming over here, and my friend's coming over and says, "Hey, I have this game." Every guest account that should be open in here should have a right to play it here. Here's the other thing here. You have to be friends with that person 30 days, and before you can be able to give it, be able to give it to one, and you only give it to one. And now, friends for 30 days is bad enough, but it can only be done once per that game. Are you kidding me? So, in other words, once it's done once, I cannot transfer that game to another guy I own, to another person. So the game can only be transferred from one account to another once, and that account being a friend for 30 days, or friends or partners for 30 days, or whatever it is here, and that friend has a new restriction that I cannot transfer that game to another friend. So you're gonna be setting it up says, the game can only be resold once. That is just as bad as an online pass, Microsoft, alright? Freaking I think that a used game like this, the person who purchased a used game should resell that one to a used game and a used game or used games here. I have like some of the 8-bit NES used games I bought. It was probably traded more than 3 or 4 times here. The only thing that you're going to be getting down with a used game that I would expect, is for the game to be either modded a bit or has some game saves or some like modded a bit or like this. For software like this, or maybe a couple of clicks in the music like this. 2, if it's a CD, it might be like, surface scratches or like this, but it still works like this. It's just some cosmetics things here, but that's the only thing I expect for used games. But for them to artificially degrade the game, like for the used games, it's just really utterly, I don't understand here. Now online, we do have internet. Oh yeah, it's cool. I can play multiplayer online, but that's where I can understand it being online. But you have to be constantly. You have to have online connection just for your system to work. Suppose if I can no longer afford internet access for a time when times are tough. Oh, I can't use my console because I can't hook it up online. Or whether it's constantly on or maybe on for an online check over 24 hours like this. Now, I could like, first of all, I could understand like where online is if I'm transferring it to another console to making sure that game is doing here, because there could be an online check anyway. If I'm passing a game towards the things, you're passing a license online to the other one, and you're automatically deactivating the license. That's where I understand the console being online for online for being the check here. But folks, why do we have to go online again and again and again just to make sure I'm checking and purchasing an authentic games? Folks, it's gonna crack. It's gonna be cracked anyway, because the pirates are going. There's gonna. I mean, we've seen that happen with we've seen that happen with countless of other online games, games that require an online access here. So the online is unnecessarily and it's stupid. All right. Now, backwards compatibility. Oh, the PS4 and that's what I have to. And that's what we're going to talk about Microsoft here. Now we're going to talk about backwards compatibility. Oh, the Sony PS4 it's incompatible with the other games. Oh, you have to have Gaikai or whatever it is in order to play PS1 or PS2 games. No, you don't have to. The talk about it. Oh, it's really complicated like this to play backwards compatible games to PS1 or to PS2. That's BS. That's bull crap. I'm going to show you why it's bull crap here. The PS1 and PS2 games can emulate easily on the PC. Like, my PC can play PS1 and PS2 games. All I just do is download an emulator, do a couple of configurations, and bam, it plays. So, I think the PS4 can play PS1 or PS2 games, even CDs. It breaks my mind why it won't even play CD-ROMs. It doesn't take a special equipment to do so. All it takes some, control drivers to play a CD. What's a CD? I mean, what's the technological point in CDs and DVDs? It's the same thing. CDs and DVDs are the same thing, except DVDs are a little more precise in the bumps here, precise in the pits here. CDs the same thing. It's just a higher grade pits here in the disc. It's the same thing. All right. You can just put controls. You can just put controls on the CD to play this thing here. So why can't I play CDs on the PS4? I don't understand. And why can't I play PS1? And why is Sony saying, oh, it's impossible, it's too expensive to emulate PS1 and PS2 games? Where I've seen plenty of emulators on the PC. Yeah, it really does make sense for you to say, oh, it's just too impossible to emulate a PS2. Well, there is a work emulator. Oh yeah, it's called PCSX2, and I do believe that there is a emulation in the works for PS3 games. So Sony, quit lying to us saying you can't play PS2. Just put an emulator where I can purchase on the PSN, and so I can play it. Look, you don't need software, you don't need, look, you don't need some fancy hardware. I'll just take some emulation. Jesus Christ, these people making excuses so I can't play PS2 games, and I have to be online with Gaikai, or it is just to play PS2 games. Sony, Microsoft, Microsoft is making this. Microsoft is making the same excuse. The Xbox 360 and Xbox One was a different architecture. Now it comes confused about the Xbox ONE. I'll probably call the Xbox O, to not be confused with the Xbox One here. Like the Xbox O, the second Xbox One here. It can play the original. I think certainly the Xbox, the new Xbox, can certainly play the original Xbox One games easily, just by emulation. I think the same thing can be heard in the Xbox 360. So, yeah, they're really BSing on. They're really bullcrapping us about backwards compatibility. It can be done, and you don't need the Emotion Engine's chip really to play the PS2 games. So I know and look. Oh, the Atari 2600 is too freaking complicated to emulation here. Look, my 486, look at this iPod here can play Atari games, even NES games. I've seen emulators for the NES games on it. Look, 386s and 486s can easily play 2600 games. So just make an emulator and they can run. You don't need that stuff like this here. But going back to Microsoft, I hope you represent this and be kind to your customers, friendly like this here. I heard that Windows Blue 8.1 is no better other than putting this so-called start button, which just brings you back to the tile screen. Microsoft is still doing that. Microsoft really hasn't fixed Windows 8 yet. Microsoft Office here as well still has this heinous one PC no transfer license. I hope they change it. I heard you can, but you have to go through the hassle of doing it. But anyway, I hope companies would listen to the comments being made on Twitter, so that I hope the comments being made on Twitter, that goes to you publishers. Yes, EA, I'm happy that you finally ended your online passes. Great. But I hope that other people would ditch the online passes, stop moaning about used games, and drop the price to $30. Drop it to $30, get rid of the DRM, and maybe your games will sell. But that's my take. I hope this industry goes back to the way it was, the glory days of the 90s going into the 2000s. And maybe this will be the beginning of like this here. But anyway, it's me, JD out. Hope the company listens. Microsoft, Sony, and the third party publishers.